Hey everyone, it's Kabir here. So in last session, we have understood the flow of the Redux and why we have to go with the Redux and how Redux works, right? Now, in this particular session, we are going to see how to implement the Redux in our React app. Now, here I'm going to divide this part as the second part, and we will have one more part called third part. So in the second part, in this video, we are going to see how to store the data in Redux store. Now we are getting the data from database, right? Now we have understood the flow. Now coming back here, we have some data in the database. Now this is a home component. Now whenever this home component is going to load, right, a request is going to send to the server. Then from server, by telling that I want some kind of data which is in your database. Now server will connect to the database. It will fetch the data which is required for the home component, and it will come back, right? Data will come back to Express.js. Now it will perform some action here, and it will return the data to us in a JSON format. Now, once the data came to the home component, that home component have to store that data in the store, right? Now, this is actually our flow. Now here, now if you come down, now if home component want to store any data in the store, right, it cannot directly store the data in the component, in the store. So what store is telling, I have a function called reducer. Now this function is registered with us. So component have to pass the data to the reducer so that store can take the data from this particular reducer. But component cannot send the direct data directly to the reducer. So the store is going to provide one more function called dispatch. Now we have to call the dispatch function by sending the data. We have to pass that data to the dispatch. Now what dispatch will do, it will call the reducer by passing that data. Now reducer will have that data, so store can call this reducer, and it can take that data and it can store in his store. So now this is the flow. So in this video, we are just going to see how can we implement this part in our React. In the next video, we are going to see, if once we have the data in the store, we will have one more component, like for example user component. Now user component want to connect with this store and take that data and display in the user component. So that we will be seeing in the next video. So in this part, we will be implementing this particular flow, right guys? So this flow is very important. So what we have to do, first of all, we have to code according to the flow. So let's understand the flow. Already we have understood it. According to that, we will be constructing the code, right? So first of all, first we required a store, right? We required one store. So before that, I wanted to explain you guys what actually we are going to do. Now I have a React app, right? I have a one React app. In that, I will create one component called home component. Now we have one website called JSON placeholder. Now, if you go to your particular uh, browser and just go to JSON placeholder. Now this is the website. Now what this website is going to do, it is going to provide you some kind of dummy data. That if you come down, you will see some URLs here like post, comment, albums, photos, users, right? If you click on this users, now it is going to provide you guys this URL. If you hit this URL, you are going to get this kind of data. Now this is your JSON data. Now we have to store this data in the store, and there will be one more component, user component, that will display this particular data in a table format. That is the task. So in our flow, if we consider our flow, this part is there, right? Now if you see this particular part, server and database part is handled by the JSON placeholder. Now what JSON placeholder is telling, I am giving you the URL, like users URL. Now just you have to send a request here. Now if it is a user request, then I will just connect to my database. I will take all the user information and I will give you the data in the JSON format. So you are going to get this particular JSON format. Now once home component got that particular JSON format data, it have to store that data in this particular store, Redux store, right? So for that, we are implementing this. So we will be sending a request to a server by hitting that user's URL so that we can get the data. Now once we got the data, then we have to implement this flow. So first of all, let us implement this flow step by step. So let's come to a code. Now in src I am creating one folder called components. Okay, now in this folder I have to create one component called home component. So how can we create a home component? Just simply you have to do create a file called home.js. So we have created a home component. So it is like a class based component. So it's like react class component tab. Now we got the skeleton of our home component. Now in this home component, what whenever this home component is going to load, right, that time we have to send a request to a server. Okay, to send a request to a server we require a url, but already this url is provided by the JSON placeholder. So we have the URL. Now, if you wanted to send a request to a server, we required a Axios library. So let us install that. So npm install Axios. Now, once we have installed this Axios, now using Axios, we are going to send the request to a server and get that data. So how to get that data? It's very simple. So let's install it. So once it has been installed, then just we will import Axios from Axios. Now we got Axios library. Now we have to send a request. So when we have to send a request, once this home component is loaded, so we know some lifecycle methods in React. So one of the lifecycle method is component did mount. So this particular lifecycle method is going to trigger once the component is loaded in your DOM. So once the component is loaded, I wanted to send a request. So how can we send Axios dot get? Now get is a method to send a request to get the data from database, and they have given us URL. So we have to just paste this particular URL. So just copy this URL, come here and just paste here, and it will return the promise. So we have to handle the promise. So it's like then it will take one callback function. If the we have a success, then the data will come in this particular callback function. Now this is the response. Then we will be seeing like console.log of response.data. Okay guys, so let us see whether we are getting the data from server or not. So we have to go to the app component, and let me remove all this code. Okay, now we have to just import our home component. So how do we have to import? Just import home from components, and we have to say sorry, and home.js. Now just keep here your home component. Yeah, if you come here, we will be saying something like welcome to React Redux. So if I run our application, so how can we run? Just npm start. So what we are doing, just whenever our home component is loaded, then component did mount lifecycle method is going to trigger. Now it is going to send a request to a server. Then from server, it is going to take the user data. That data came to our home component. Now from home component, we have to store the data in the Redux store. So we are going to see it. So this is a welcome to React Redux. So just right click, go to inspect, whether we'll see we are getting the data or not. Yeah, we are getting the data. So this data we are getting from the server. So we have finished this part, right? Just sending the request, and they perform some operation, they maintain everything, and they gave the data. They gave us this particular data. This data. Now we have to store this data in the Redux store. Okay. Now this is our actual flow. So let's come to our flow. Now, first of all, to, to store some data in Redux store, we have to create the Redux store, right? Now, to create Redux store, we have a library called Redux library. Now, Redux library is going to provide you set of methods through which you can perform some operations. So first of all, we have to install the Redux library. So how can we install the Redux library? So simple, just you have to do npm install and Redux. Npm install Redux. Okay, now this library will be installed. So what I am doing, in this src I am creating one folder called redux. Okay, now in this folder I am creating one file called store.js. Now in this file we will be creating the redux store. So we will be creating the redux store. So first of all, to create a redux store we have to import the redux library. So already it is installed, so import something from redux. Now this redux library is going to provide you one method. The name of that method is create store. The name of that method is create store. Now using this method we can create the store. So how we have to create? Simple, this is a function, so we have to call it. So whenever you are going to call create store, a store is created. Now it is going to return you the reference of that particular redux store. So we have to catch. So constant, I'm just giving the store equals to. Now we have created the store. Now next what we have to create, we have to insert some data. But who can insert some data in the store? I mean, who have that permissions? That permissions is given by the, I mean, that permissions only reducers has, right? So we have to create one reducer. So we have to create one reducer. Now what is reducer? Now reducer is nothing but simple JavaScript function, right? Reducer. Now we have to create the reducer. So what is the reducer? Reducer is simple JavaScript function. So I am creating one more folder called reducers. Why I'm creating the separate folder? Because in your application it is not mandatory that you have to create one reducer. Now you can create multiple reducers according to your application requirement. I'm creating one more reducer, one more reducer. I can create totally 4 reducers, right? Now it depends upon your application requirement, your project requirement, how many reducers you have to create. But try to create as less as reducers, because you will understand in future like why we have to create as many as less reducers, right? So you can create any kind of reducers. Reducers is nothing but any kind of functions you can create, but that function have to register with the store, right? So in our scenario we are creating only one reducer as of now. Okay, so we have created one reducer. So how to create a reducer? For that we have created one folder called reducer. Now in this I am just creating one function, reducer dot js, or yeah, reducer dot js. Now what is reducer? It's simple JavaScript function. So let us write a function called const, like something like my reducer, or I can give something like user reducer equals to, this is an arrow function. So this is simple function. Now this reducer will get the data from component. So how can a function get the data from outside? It from the argument. So I'm just keeping something like data. Data is nothing but this data is coming from outside, right? Okay, fine. Now this particular reducer has to register with the store. Now to register with the store, now store is selling, if any reducer wanted to register with me, then I am giving one method called combine reducers. So that is a combine reducers. What you have to do, just you have to combine all the reducers and you have to give one common reducer, and that reducer you have to register with me. As just I have said, like we can create multiple reducers. Now if you create 5 reducers, then you have to combine all that 5 reducers and you have to give one reducer. Means whenever you are going to combine that reducer, all the reducer will be combined and it will come in one reducer. So let me come here and we have to call the reducer. But before calling that reducer, we have to get this reducer in the store. So to get that reducer, first of all, we have to export this, right? So export default store. I mean, sorry, user reducer, so that we can import here. Import something like a user reducer from reducers, and we have reducer.js. Now we have to combine all the reducers. So as of now we have just only one reducers, so just you have to write combine reducers. You have to call this method, and this method will take one argument as an object. Now here object contains property, so each property is one reducer, so it is a user reducer. So how property will be in the form of key value, so user reducer, this will be the key, and for the value will be this particular user reducer. Now we know that in Java ES6 syntax, like ES6 version, that if the key and the value have the same name, just instead of writing both, you have to write just only one time. So the meaning of this is like the key name is also a user reducer and the value name is also user reducer, right? Now if consider you have one more reducer, like now this is user reducer, then you have one more reducer, something like post reducer. Then what you will be doing, just you will be creating one more JavaScript, one more function, right? Then you have going to import that reducer, then just you have to give a comma and you have to write something like post reducer. So what will happen now, this combined reducer will combine this two reducer and it will return one common reducer. Like I will be saying something like const combined reducer. Now this combined reducer will contain this both the reducers. Okay, now this combined reducers we have to register with this store. So how can we register with the store, just we have to pass as a first argument combined reducers. It's like combined reducer. So it means that we have registered these two reducers with this store, but in our application we have just one reducer. So just let me remove this particular post reducer. So now coming to our application, we have only one reducer and one store, and this reducer is registered with this store. So we have done up to this, right? Now initially you wanted to maintain some data in the store. So how the data will be maintained in the store, in object format. So for that initial, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one file in the SRC called initial data.js. Now what it will contain, it will contain one object like something like let initial data. Now this initial data will contain one property called user data or user information. Now in the initial it will be just empty, right? Now in user information we are going to store the information what we got from the server. It's nothing but this particular data we are going to store here, and this particular in this object we are going to store in the object, I mean in the store object. So initially it will be like initial user information will be like empty. Now we have to export it, export default initial data. What we have did, we have created one store using the Redux library. Now to create store we required one function. The function name is nothing but your React, I mean function name is nothing but create store. So we have created the store. Now we wanted to create one reducer. So what we did, we created one function called reducer, right? Now this reducer has to be registered with the store. So to register with the store, there might be chances where we will have more than one reducer. So for that, Redux is telling I have one method called combine reducers. Now just combine all the reducers and give me the root reducer, one common reducer. So what we have did, just we call this combine reducers, and we have passed this particular reducer, and it will combine and it will give a combined reducer. Now this combined reducer we have registered with the store. How we have to register, just we have to pass as a first argument. It means we have registered, right? Initially we wanted to maintain some initial data in the store, nothing but one empty data we wanted to maintain. So for that we have created one file called initial data. Now in this we have a property called user information. Now this property will contain only the data of users. Now here we will have post information in future. Okay, now this property will contain only the data which is related to the post. This property will contain only data which will be related to the user, right? Now initially we have to store this empty data in the store. So how can we store? Just come to reducer. First of all we have to import that particular initial data. So import initial data from initial data.js. Okay guys, now this initial data we have to give to this reducer as a first argument. So the current data, I'm just saying current data equals to initial data. So what is the meaning of that? Initially, this initial data will be passed to this current data, and this user reducer will return this particular current data. So what is the flow? Simple. This particular store will, this particular Redux store will call this reducer, means this, it will call these functions. So whenever this function is called, it is going to return this current data. So initially the current data is empty, right? Initially we don't have any data. So this data will be stored. Initially empty data will be stored, right? Now this is how we have constructed. So it is little bit complex, so that you have to remember the flow. So first you have to create the store, then you have to create the reducer. Now we have one component called home component, right? Now we got the data from server and that data is in home component. So let us consider this is our home component. Now data is with this home component. Now this data we have to pass in the store, so cannot directly be passed, right? So we have called one dispatch, right? we have a, we have to use a dispatch which is coming from the Redux library, right, from the store. So what we have to do, we have to just pass this particular data to dispatch. So but dispatch is coming from the store. So let's come to our home component. Okay, now if you wanted that dispatch, we have to import the store. So import store from Redux store, right? Now how we have to call the dispatch is nothing but store dot dispatch. Now this is also a function, so this is a function. Now it is going to take one argument called object, right? Now this object contain to one property mandatory. The name of that property is nothing but type, means the key of that property is type. Now this type is mandatory, so we have to write here type. So we have to give some value. So as of now I'm just giving the value something like user. Okay, now it will contain one more property you can called payload. Now it is not mandatory that you have to write the payload, you can write any name for this key, but this type key should be mandatory, it should be type only. So in this payload we will be keeping the data which we are getting from the server. Now data came here, right? Now response is nothing but we are getting the data, so that is nothing but response dot data. So now what this dispatch will do, dispatch will call this particular reducer. Okay, now once it is called this reducer, it will pass this object to reducer in the second argument, means in this data it will be passing. So that particular thing, which thing, this one, this object will come to reducer and it will store in the second argument. Okay, now what we'll be doing here, we will write here one switch case. Okay, in switch case we are saying data dot type. If data dot type is user, like here we are writing one case, I'm saying if the case is user, if data dot type is user, then just, if the it is a data, then just take this current data. In this current data we have something like user information. Now this user information should be overridden with the data dot payload. So what we are saying, we wrote user reducer, right? It is taking first argument as a current data, which is initial data. So initial, it is a empty. Second is something like a data. So normally we are writing data, but technically we will call it as a action. Now you can call any name, but we can call, it is better to recommended to call it as a action. So here it will be something like action dot payload, and here it will be like action dot type. What is this action? Action is nothing but this particular object which we are passing in the dispatch, right? This object is nothing but your action in the reducer. Now action dot type. So what do you mean by action dot type? Action dot type means user. If it is user, you are saying if it is user, case is user, then just you have one current data, right? Initially it is empty. Now in this current data we have a property called user information. Just override the action dot payload data. This action dot payload is nothing but this particular data, right? Now we want this data, means how we can call action dot payload. Now we got the data here, right? Now once we got the data, we are returning the current data. Now what store will do, it will just see the user reducer, is user reducer have the data or not, is there any updation in the data. If there is any updation in the data, then it will call the user reducer and the current data will be returned. So now anyhow the current data is overridden by this particular action.payload information which is coming from the server. It means now we have stored successfully the data inside the store. Now let me execute our application. So already it is saved. So if you come here, you're getting does not contain redux port. Okay, so now if you come to the store, we have imported the store, but we didn't export the store. So if someone want to use this store, first of all we have to export. Now who is using the store? This home component is using the store for the dispatch, like we have imported, right? Before that we have to export it. So export default store. Now just save it and come here. Now we got welcome to React Redux, but still we are not able to see whether the data is stored in Redux or not, in the Redux store or not, because they are not going to provide any facility to show us. So for that we have a library called Redux Logger. That Redux Logger will show the state of your Redux store, means what was the initial data, what is the current data, like after doing some action, what is the updated data, and what was the initial data. If you wanted to see the data of the store, for that you have to install a library called Redux Logger. So npm, so we have to say npm install Redux Logger. So why I didn't install all the libraries at one time, because you have to understand why this particular library is important. So whenever we are going to come across some problem, then only we have to know, okay, this is a problem occurred. Now we, to solve this problem, we have to go with this library. Now this library is going to solve this particular problem. Now what is the problem? We have stored the data in the Redux, but we are not able to see whether the data is stored in Redux or not. Now if you wanted to see, we wanted to see the state of Redux, then for that we have a library called Redux Logger. So just we have to install the Redux Logger. Now once you have installed it, now we have a method in the Redux called apply middleware. Okay, now this is a function. So this apply middleware we have to pass as a second argument in this create store. So just pass dot apply middleware. Now this is a function, so we have to call. Now what we have to pass in apply middleware, we have to pass that Redux Logger. So before passing, first of all we have to import, right? So import Redux Logger from Redux Logger. Now this Redux Logger we have to pass to this apply middleware as a first argument. This is a Redux Logger. Now we are saying that to store, I have passed Redux Logger. So Redux Logger have a permissions to see the state of your store. Now just you have to save and come over to browser. Now see here you are able to see something like initially previous state. Now before calling dispatch, what was the state of your store? It was user information and the post information was empty. Now after calling the dispatch is nothing but after performing this action, type was user and payload was some array, then your state of store is nothing but user information with this data. See, now we have stored this data, complete data which we are getting from the server. So finally we have called the dispatch and dispatch called this particular reducer by passing the data, and the store will call this reducer and get the data, and data will be stored in this particular store. It's very simple. So if you know the flow, you have to understand the flow and you have to construct each and every part. So if or else like we have to remember, okay, first I have to create store then reducer. So you should know why we have to create the store, why we have to create the reducer, why we have to call the dispatch, what we have to pass the in dispatch. Once you have passed something in the dispatch, then what is going to happen? Like if you know this flow, then you can do the coding and you can construct your redux and you can implement redux in your react application. Now this is how we have to implement the redux. Now just consider we have one more url like post url, right? Now this was the user url. In the same way we have the post. If you click on this post, you will see some data you are getting from the post. Now I want this data also. I want to store this data in redux, right? Initially we have something like user information which is going to consist of user information. Now here we have the post information, right? So I want to keep the information of this post, this information in this post. Means we have to send a request to a server. So when we will be sending that request, we will be sending that request in the home only. So how we are sending this request? Once we got this request, I'm sending one more request, axios dot get. Okay, so just I'm going to copy everything from here and paste here. Now here just we have to send like we have to replace the url. So I'm just replacing the url. So let me come here, just copy it and just replace the url. Okay, now what we are doing, we are just sending a request, one more request to this url. This is the user, this is the post. Now we are going to get the result in the response. Now this time I'm going to say type is equals to post. Okay, type is post. Now what this dispatch will do, it will call the reducer. It will come to here. Now action dot type is post. Now we have to write one case. Now case is nothing but just I'm going to copy this, or else we will do one thing. Yeah, we'll write here case is equals nothing but post. If the case is post, then current data equals to, first of all it should be this dot, not this spread operator, and we will be saying that I want current data, complete current data, comma, then we will be saying something like post information should be response, I mean action dot payload. In the same way here also we will be saying something like this. I hope you guys know about the spread operator. So what we are doing, we wrote the two cases. The first case will be executed if the type is user. Second case will be executed if the type is post, right? So what we are doing, whenever our home component is loaded, first of all we are sending one request. by passing a URL and telling the JSON placeholder, I want the information, the data of user. Now data will come, it will call the dispatch. Now type is user. Now we are calling the dispatch, and dispatch will call this reducer. The control will comes to this reducer, and the current data will be initial data, and action will be nothing but whatever the that object you have passed in the dispatch, that object will come as an action. Now action dot type is user. So in user, what we are saying, current data. In the current data we have a user information. Just update this user information with the action dot payload. Once this is done, then again one more request will go to the server by saying that this time I require the post information. Right now the post information will come here. It is again we are calling dispatch. Dispatch will call reducer. Now this time action dot type is post. Now the case will match, this case will match. Then again here we are just updating our post information with the action dot payload. That's it. Now if you come to our React app, now if I just let me clear it, reload it. Now just see, this is the first action for the user action, and this is the second action, that is nothing but the post action. Here you are able to see action post, action user. It means in the store, in this particular store, now we have inserted user information plus post information. Now in next video what we will be doing, we will be creating one user information component, one post information component. Now user and post will connect to this Redux, and it will fetch the data. Like user component need user data and post component need post data. So how we can get the data from the Redux store, we will be seeing in the next video. Thank you guys. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching the video.